That is 1 can of our Prego meat sauce. Today's recipe we're making is gonna be nice and easy. It is one of my favorite go-tos just because it does not take a lot of prep time. It feeds a whole family and it just tastes absolutely delicious. So right on top of our pasta sauce, we have our fettuccine noodles. And I just part cooked these, so they are a little bit al dente, a little bit hard to the bite because we are gonna be sticking this into the oven after. But before we do that, we're gonna be placing some mushrooms. And this recipe is really versatile. If you don't like mushrooms, you can do any other veggie that you want. Maybe some bell peppers or even some regular onions as well works. But I absolutely adore mushrooms, so this is gonna get a good amount. For a little bit of added protein, I'm gonna be doing some Italian sausage. And I've been using Italian sausage instead of ground beef as of late just because it's usually on sale. So that's kind of what I look for. I look for the meat that's on sale since grocery prices have been getting so expensive. So this Italian sausage is gonna pack in a ton of flavor. As soon as we have this set, we are gonna season it up a bit. So here I have some Italian seasoning. So this is gonna sit right on top of our mushrooms and our beef. This is gonna be one of the main sources of flavor along with our pasta sauce. And then we cannot forget some black pepper. So with the Italian seasoning and the black pepper, that's really the only seasonings we need. The Italian sausage is salty, so that is gonna give us a good amount of salt. And then last but not least, here I have the spice rolled garlic. This stuff comes in handy. I always make sure I have a jar in my pantry. And I am just gonna be spreading this around. You can do as much or as little garlic as you want. I really love my pasta to be nice and garlicky, so I'm gonna be doing about 4 small spoonfuls will do the trick. Once you have the garlic in there, we are gonna be coming in with a 2nd can of this Prego sauce. And this is really what's gonna make our dish nice and saucy. I hate when you're eating like these pasta dishes and they don't have enough sauce. So I made sure to pick up 2 cans for this recipe because let me tell you, with the sauce at the bottom and with it on top, there is not gonna be one ingredient that is gonna be left dry. I'm just gonna use my spoon here to kind of just spread it across the top. And this is smelling so amazing already. I do have my oven preheating at 350 degrees. So let's go ahead and spruce it up a little bit. Here, cannot forget our Parmesan cheese. So this is just gonna sprinkle right on top. And I just grab the handy kind. If you have some fresh Parmesan cheese or want to grate your own, go right ahead. But this stuff, I'm telling you, it does wonders. So once we have this all cheesed up, last but not least, here I have some low moisture mozzarella, which is my favorite for this recipe. And I am just gonna sprinkle this whole bag right on top. Get a nice cheesy layer. And this is what's gonna make it really, really, really tasty. So as soon as I have this cheese spread out, you can see that we got a nice full 13 by 9. I'm just gonna spread it out with my fingers, kind of get the edges. So this is gonna go into a 350 degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Look how amazing this looks. So I just took it out of the oven, so it is nice and hot. And all we have left to do is here I have some chopped Italian herbs. This is what's really gonna give us that last hint of freshness and really bring this dish to life. We just gotta sprinkle it right on top. And as soon as you open this container, you get all of the aroma of the herbs and spices, so it is very, very pleasant. And now all we have left to do is serve. So here I like grabbing in with some tongs and we can just go in and start breaking it apart, get some of that cheese, dig in at the bottom and get some of those mushrooms and Italian sausage as well. This one is gonna be so delicious. All right, let's go ahead and give this one a big bite. You gotta make sure that you get some of that cheese on top, and then I need to dig in and grab a mushroom as well because it is my favorite topping. All right, here goes nothing. Cheers. This is such a classic dish. I could eat this every day, every night, and I will never get tired of it. Enjoy.